And I'm recording. So why don't we just start now because I'm recording. We are live here from Los Angeles, much like the Democratic debate was tonight. And what's up? What's going on, guys? Introduce yourselves. I don't feel like it. I'm tired.
Rico, drinking eggnog again because it was the easiest thing to make and I didn't feel like having a beer.
Very good. Next.
JB, drinking a stout. Local as usual.
All right.
Tastes freshest that way.
Fantastic. And lastly?
And Howie, drinking Yingling.
That was fucking awesome. That was the most efficient introduction ever, and that's how I'm going to do it from now on forever. That was awesome. And I'm Marc, live from Los Angeles, drinking wine, because it's what I have in the house.
Can we start at almost the end?
Yep. Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so I thought the debate was wrapping up on but then it turned out to be a real question.
My favorite part of the debate was when Rico adorably thought it was going to be over like an hour
I
ago.
thought it was over at 10. And they're like, oh, we got a lot more questions to get to. I'm like, what? It's 9:55. What's going on here? But anyways, the last question, they're like, if you could give anyone a Christmas gift.
Oh, my God.
And I thought that was just a lead into the final statement, you know? And then after they're like, all right, well, we're out of questions. I'm like, okay, well, that was a real question. So that was surprising.
Yeah, I thought that was their closing statement as well.
The hard-hitting CNN questions.
Was that the same question as the forgiveness question? They're all talking about.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
besides that, though, I thought the questions in this debate were a lot better than.
Actually, I agreed. There were some, like the economics one. They're like, well, you know, and they went through the measures.
When it's
like how unemployment's down, unemployment in the African American community is down, the Dow Jones is up. So what's your message for those people that actually like making money?
I liked how they tried to get real answers too. So assuming the Republican Congress won't pass your Medicare for all, do you have any reasonable, realistic things you can improve this?
Yeah, Politico did a way better job with questions than because this is on CNN but produced by Politico. So I mean, I think that's probably the difference that we're seeing.
That was on PBS, dude.
It was on. I watched.
It was on both.
Oh, because I was watching PBS. Even just PBS looks boring. Like their sets aren't as good. At first I thought their sound and mics
That's
were
what
terrible.
They're going for.
Their sound and mics I thought were terrible at first, and I realized it was only when they went to Bernie Sanders. He had they gave him a bad mic. I don't know if it was on purpose.
Who is white, by the way? I'll have you know.
That's one of the parts.
Is it worse to support PBS or CNN?
CNN.
Yeah, CNN.
Yeah,
CNN.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is it that clear cut?
I think it is actually.
Okay.
So to me, PBS takes our
Which
money.
is crazy because CNN is the private company, but in reality, you could argue they're less private than PBS. You could actually argue that because
PBS does also receive private donations.
Exactly, they get much of their money from private donations. Now CNN gets all of their money from advertising, but how tied in they are with the state and the deep state? Come on,
CNN does more damage.
Okay. Well, it was just an aside question that was handled deftly by all. Yeah, but I thought the economics question was good, and then it was great just listening to the generalizations. Well, there is no middle class anymore. The middle class is dying. It's like, well, what is the middle class? There's no one. It's only the top 0.001% in this country who've made any money in the last 3 years. Seemed not at all true.
Is $150,000 a year really top 10%?
I don't believe any figures they said at all. When they actually did try to say figures, I don't believe they were true.
I've always heard the median household income is $50,000, so it might be.
I mean, yeah, if that's the median,
I actually believe Biden when he was telling me that Bernie's plan was going to cost $30 trillion. I'm like, yeah, that's probably about right.
It's probably low.
I think the best moment of the debate, and I was in and out because I was busy doing Christmas stuff and I was listening on my phone.
I was in and out because it's the 8th debate, and
when Buttigieg and Warren were getting into it a little bit, and Buttigieg was
it's son of Rico,
who's up way past his bedtime,
who we won't name because I'm not going to dox him live on Facebook. The SWAT team busts into little Rico's room during the podcast.
Are you suggesting we have feds in our audience?
I'm suggesting, well, if they are feds, they do They either pay us money on Patreon or they have hacked the.
Oh,
feed.
funny you should
Either
mention
way.
that. Actually, in our Discord, you know how you could have like the Pride roll?
Mhm.
I might have another one, possibly a Fed, that will be assigned to some of our
Oh, I like that.
Discord members.
Do we have any specific suspects of who in the Pride is a Fed right now?
I don't, but I'm keeping an eye out.
I bet it's Pete Quinones.
Glad you're on the case, Howie.
That's my guess.
These are dangerous times. You can't-
Aren't you the closest one that we know of as a Fed, Howie?
Oh yeah, and you would be the Fed would be the one to accuse, put out the accusation of the Fed, because who would suspect the person that brought it up? This is
Perhaps.
Wait, oh my God, I think it's true now because Howie can't lie, and he just did that smile he does whenever he's lying.
He's
He
really,
just did the I'm lying smile.
the James Comey playbook right there. Well,
Really? We really should have seen this coming a long time ago.
Nobody's said this.
I should have known when he tried to mind
You're a
control
damn
me in
liar,
college.
man. No one says this.
Anyway, I thought this was actually, I went in this with really not looking forward to it at all, especially because Tulsi wasn't going to be in it. Cory Booker was actually pretty decent last time, all things considered, and he wasn't going to be in it. And Crystal Marianne's not in it. But I found this actually to be one of the more entertaining debates, maybe one of the most entertaining ones. What do you guys think?
Well, I would say that the second half was. I almost fell
it heated
asleep
up
in the
in
first
the
half.
second half.
The first hour of the debate was probably the most boring ever, but the second half
That's
was
fair.
maybe the most entertaining.
I missed the first 30 minutes, so maybe the good part felt
Yeah,
nicer.
it was really a tale of two halves tonight. Yeah, once Warren and Buttigieg started getting into each other, that it was all gloves off from there.
So,
yeah,
so,
that was great.
so, Mark, you missed then the first question about impeachment, where everybody gave canned bullshit
6-minute
answer
diatribe.
until they got to Andrew Yang, who was
Tell me he tied it into UBI. Tell me.
no.
Oh,
He
damn,
was
that would have been great.
because I think the question was like, why does half the American people not support impeachment? What can you do to change this? And he's like, of course, a lot of the American people don't. He's like, we don't even have the same facts. We can't agree on anything because if you look at the news, you think that he's a president because of Russia and this and all these other bullshit things.
Yeah.
And
That's awesome.
yeah, and he's like, oh man, where did he go with it from there?
Yeah, he's not stupid. He doesn't buy I don't disagree with his politics, but he doesn't buy into like bullshit narratives that the media.
Yeah,
puts out,
so
which
he pretty
I
much
do respect of him.
said it's all bullshit reasons people think that he's a president, but what we need to do if we want to win is fix the real reasons that Trump is the president, that we're losing all these jobs and this and this and that. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, I think he
an
started
actual
off
good
well.
answer.
That was the first question about impeachment, and he really that's basically exactly how Howie described it. He's like, we're like the whenever the people who voted for Trump turn on the news, all they hear is a bunch of seemingly nonsense, and of course they don't support this impeachment, and we're not focusing on the things that got him elected in the first place. And I thought that was kind of refreshing and really unexpected for that question. I expect everyone to toe the line and just say, yeah, we should impeach him, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, he took it a different direction.
This goes along with a thought that I had about Andrew Yang during the debate. I don't buy that he doesn't like Donald Trump. I think he's lying. I don't know why. I just don't believe it. Like,
Why do you say that?
I don't know. He says it, but I just don't see it in his eyes. I don't think he means. I have no factual evidence.
Someone attuned to the pro
eyes.
wrestling. I believe Rico's analysis.
Exactly.
that's enough
what
for me.
I'm saying. It's like I could see them backstage having a beer together and laughing about how they're pulling the wool over everyone's eyes.
He might disagree
show,
with
Andrew.
him, but he definitely doesn't hate him. He does not
Yeah.
have TDS at all.
Yeah, like
He doesn't
Warren,
have TDS. I think that's the difference.
Yeah,
Like, I'm so
Maybe.
surprised, like, every time when Bernie's like, this is the most corrupt president we've in the history of America. It's like, come on, really?
Have you heard the? Have
I
you
know
heard the
he's
new?
bad, but have you seen the other ones?
Have you heard? Side note: have you heard the new derangement syndrome? Woods derangement syndrome.
No.
It's where people think Tom Woods is a white nationalist and go around acting as such as true.
What is that? What? When did that start?
Oh, that's been a thing for a while, but now it's more of a meme. It's really more a way to make fun of the very few people who say that.
Oh, I was like, okay.
Anyway,
Speaking of the whites.
speaking of the whites,
That was so funny when they asked that question about
Jamie, pipe down. I'm talking about the whites here.
How Obama's like, we need to push the old white men aside or something like, so Senator Sanders, you would be the oldest president, or you're the oldest person on the stage. It's like, and I'm white too.
And he said it the way he said it with a smile on his face. Maybe the funniest moment in all of the debates of all that I've seen, let alone although there was another pretty funny moment in this debate. There's a lot of funny moments in this debate.
Yeah.
I think the other one was Biden's confusion over Afghanistan.
Oh, yeah.
What was it exact line?
Are you saying Afghanistan?
Well,
yes, Afghanistan.
Pronunciation. That's what he said.
The woman from Politico was saying it. So Americans say Afghanistan, but I believe the proper way to pronounce it, if you're from that area, would be Pakistan and Afghanistan. So I believe she is correct in that sense. But all Americans say it like Afghanistan because we're Americans. So Biden was like, Afghanistan? What is that? Afghanistan?
I missed that.
Or is that a whole new country I don't even know about?
I was against the war on that too. It's not on record, but I was behind the scenes against the. Is that what he was saying about Afghanistan?
Well,
he's like, I was the point man, and I was against it. It's like, well, did you ever say anything about this?
He said that Obama sent him there before they went into office.
Right.
When they were asking him about while he was in office, and then he's like, "Well, I mean, we don't need to talk." But
did he actually say anything anti-Afghanistan at the start of the war? He did.
No. This was I remember before Obama did the surge, people in the administration were arguing about what they should do, and Biden was at the time arguing for having a small footprint, maybe some special operators and things like that. Then you had the Hillary Clintons and those people no, surge, send more troops.
So he's telling the truth then, Howie.
Wow,
you're agreeing with him.
Stunned.
He was anti-surge.
He was anti-surge, yes.
But when was the surge? Wasn't that 2010, 11?
It was when Obama was president. So.
Right. But it was 2 or 3 years into the presidency, right?
I think it was pretty early.
Yeah.
I think with the Afghanistan.
I mean, he was for the original war in Afghanistan, but so was everybody.
Right.
And it was
I just don't remember him coming out after election, but before inauguration or shortly after they got to power, him being staunchly on the record as anti-war in Afghanistan, as he was kind of portraying himself in that question.
I knew that for some reason. I don't know.
Oh,
I guess it was because the question was directly about what his role was while in the White House. So he voted for the war as a senator. So that's pretty much on record. They're basically calling him out for what were you doing in the Oval Office when, everybody was meeting together with the Joint Chiefs. What were you saying, in terms? So maybe that's why it was defending.
So this wasn't really the question, though. They were asking him about his administration lying to the American people's face about what was going on there.
Yeah.
He didn't really.
He definitely had no answer.
Successfully
the question specifically was the Afghanistan paper said that the Obama administration made constant pressure, I guess, against the Pentagon to show that the troop surge was working. And how do you respond to that? So I guess it was an administration thing.
Yeah, at least
before I was in, I did this. And they're like, well, that's not what we're asking, but thanks for the info.
Yeah, at least they asked that question. So kudos to Politico for actually bringing that up, because I don't think Lester Holt or whoever else, Rachel Maddow would have brought that up.
But Bernie Sanders rightly called him out. He's like, yeah, but you were a big supporter of the Iraq war that I was against. And they brought up Bernie being for the Afghanistan war. And he's like, well, you know what? I was wrong. He's like, my colleague Barbara Lee was against it. She was the only one. She was right. I was wrong. Yeah. I like when somebody can actually admit that in this day and age.
Sanders is the best of them on the war issue. I wish that he made it more of his central campaign so I could be more excited about that. And I also wish that he was stronger on it, because even his anti-war thing, he's like, well, you pledged to get them out within a year. It's just if you're going to get them out, get them out. I hate all this within the first year bullshit. Just day one. Just say really, day one. Why is it that hard to say?
Yeah. I really appreciate him treating the Palestinians like real people that deserve rights too.
Yeah, who was the other one that was saying the two-state? Oh, it was him saying the two-state solution is the only way, right?
No, I think that was that Buttigieg or someone?
No, I don't think
maybe it was
Biden.
Whoever it was. I don't actually think that is ever going to happen.
No,
it's one country. They just have to give the Palestinians actual rights and make them citizens, let them vote. And I mean, I guess the Israelis know that it'll pretty soon not be a Jewish state anymore.
Way back in the day, like 5 years ago, I did this show with this guy, and I'm going to look it up right now. Anyway, his idea was like an overlapping state where you have the same geography, but you have different.
Oh, I remember that.
Jurisdictions. Look at this guy. Look at this fan of the year. Remembering things that I can't even find on the internet. Anyway, I'll try to post that somewhere if I find it.
I was really confused about how it actually could work in practice.
Maybe I'll do a follow-up. It's been a while.
It sounds like a
like you're going to have two kind of jurisdictions, two courts, and overlapping
for certain things. I mean, I'll have to go back and listen again because again, this is 5 years ago.
I mean, it's all in theory because it's never actually going to happen.
Probably not.
So
probably not.
How do we think this is going to play out eventually? Anyone, any thoughts?
Israel-Palestine or the Democratic debates?
Israel-Palestine.
No. I think it's going to stay in a perpetual cycle for a really, really, really long time. I mean, eventually it will have to change, but that'll probably be well beyond any of our grandchildren's lifetimes.
There's the new government world order takes over. There'll be no states there, so then we won't have to worry about it.
There's probably as much interest in perpetual conflict there as certain people have for perpetual conflict with the United States and whoever. It serves a purpose. It can certainly keep people in fear, which could help with their motives for power. It could help business, at least the war business. So,
should we switch topics to our nuclear weapons reel? Just change this on the fly.
Oh, well, wait. So, who was it? Tom Steyer, the nuclear? He's like, it's not feasible. Like, there's nowhere to store our waste, and we have the technology. It's the wind power and solar power. It's like,
this is talking right after Andrew Yang rightly brings up that thorium is not dirty, that it is clean energy. He's like, no, it's radioactivity. It's like, dude, this is your number one biggest thing, and you don't know that nuclear power is safe now. Come on.
And whose biggest thing is fucking clean energy? I mean, come on. That's your biggest thing, or climate change is your biggest thing? Well,
in fairness, if you actually believe that the story, it should be your biggest thing. If you actually believe that we're all dead in 10 years if we don't do something crazy.
If you believe it too, you should be for nuclear energy.
Well, someone's plan was to move everyone to higher ground.
I thought Yang did mention that. That's one of Yang's platforms.
That was my favorite.
They're going to have to move some people. Like, no, they're going to have to move themselves.
I'm always impressed by Yang's ability to change any. Oh, no, that was his in another debate. I think he did that. Maybe he did.
Well, I mean, that's not a terrible idea. Either that, or we build dams and stuff like in the Netherlands.
It's a more realistic response to things that change.
Or people figure it out themselves.
It's more realistic than change the weather.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want the government doing this stuff. People will figure it out. They'll do those things
with $1,000 a month.
You mentioned that I was trying to fill out most statist moment, and a lot of times it was.
I wrote the debate.
Yeah, a lot of times it was just the questions being asked, and I'm like, that's incredibly ridiculously statist. Like, just the presumption that it's the state's responsibility to relocate people from one part of the country to the other part of the country. Where did this premise arise?
I didn't get
that that's the state's responsibility.
I don't think the existence of private companies or private solutions or voluntary transactions were even acknowledged in this entire.
I didn't get were the people being forced to move, or they just were going to help them out?
It's a good question. What if you don't want to get a higher ground? What if you want to live at the beach?
Yeah,
in the ocean.
That's different. If they're forcing people out of areas, that would be really more upset than I am. But.
Do they really think it's like the day after tomorrow? Like one day their house is 20 feet from shoreline. The next day it's the water's up to the second floor. Like there's no warning sign here.
I think they honestly think it's that way. Because kind of I thought about the magnetic pole flipping, because it's been in the news lately. I always knew the magnetic pole would eventually flip. But I thought it was going to be like a light switch. Little I know it's going to take 22,000 years for that switch to happen. I think we'll have plenty of time to adjust.
Oh, is that how it works?
Yeah. So it's kind of like that. It's not an all or nothing, zero sum all of a sudden. Even if you buy in wholeheartedly, it's not going to be within a matter of months and everyone's dead.
It's not only is our house underwater, we forgot how to swim too. This is the worst day of our lives.
So this Steyer's emergency thing came up at the beginning of the debate, and oh man, is this going to have to be my most statist moment again? And so I'm waiting and waiting and waiting for a more statist thing. And I think this will be my pick for tonight. When they asked Biden, they said, would you be willing to sacrifice potentially hundreds of thousands of blue-collar workers in the interest of transitioning to that greener economy? And Biden says, the answer is yes.
So we can lose jobs because of all these
hundreds of thousands of blue-collar workers we will sacrifice in the interest of transitioning to a greener economy.
Well, in his defense, I will, as much as I'd loathe to defend him, he did claim that those blue-collar workers would be getting clean energy jobs instead of those. But I don't know exactly how he envisions that working, but I guess that was his save. He wasn't just like, yeah, fuck him.
Spoiler alert,
yeah,
it
he didn't just
work.
like, fuck him. Like, as...
Wasn't that their whole thing about the economic policies with Trump? Is like, oh, the middle class is losing jobs under Trump. Oh, they didn't say what metric they're using or what statistics or whatever, but then it's just the middle class is being trashed. But now, well, it's okay if we trash the middle class because it'll lead to better or less severe climate change.
Because the middle class will also get free daycare for their kids they can't afford.
I think Trump is going to have a trouble with that demographic this time around, though, because his tariffs and stuff have really hurt a lot of people.
Except he's going to announce a trade deal 6 months before the election.
Yeah, but that's not going to help them anytime soon.
But will they turn to the Democrats as as their solution? I think that's the question. And maybe that all depends on who the Democrat is.
I guess not if it's Elizabeth Warren.
And not if it's Joe Biden.
She is so annoying to listen to speak, isn't she?
Yeah.
Just her
really
cadence, her voice.
She's really brutal.
Her inability to keep to time and...
She's the queen of, I'm going to answer this. My name was mentioned.
Why don't they just cut their mics? Like, what the hell?
I don't know. I think we were advocating for that,
it would be so
forever.
funny besides.
Just
maybe
talking.
the debate went
You see them talking
lasted
with
an
their
hour and a
hand.
half.
You can't hear them.
Does anybody else, does Klobuchar like really irritate anyone else?
Yes.
Yep.
I thought she came in with a bag of jokes tonight. It seemed like every comment had like some type of joke in it. Like she was trying real hard to just be
That's
like, I don't know what she was trying to be, like the most lighthearted person on stage or something, but I definitely felt like almost everything she said, she at least attempted to put a joke in there. Am I the only one who noticed
I think that's, you made me realize why I don't like her. Those jokes weren't funny. And the thing is, she's phony. She's so phony. That's what drives me nuts.
I think Yang was trying to tell a lot of jokes, and I thought some of them were funny, but he got no reaction on some of them.
He pauses a lot for reactions that don't come.
Yeah.
I find that incredible. It's
like,
under some of my awkward stuff. Yeah, he does that a lot, and it's hilarious.
Do you know when that happened, he should have just been like, please clap. Like, Gab, that would have
I
got
would definitely appreciate that.
I would have liked the Brian McWilliams response, but you fucking idiots, you don't get me any good humor anyway.
That is Brian. If you've ever seen Brian stand up live, that's what happens.
That's how he ends every set.
Every joke, not just every set.
No,
You're
every joke.
fucking idiots. That joke's hilarious.
I think so.
Well, this one must go over your fucking heads, you fucking morons. Anyway,
I think Yang's problem is he tells the same jokes every time, and it's like, yeah, dude, we heard it. I kind of thought it was a little funny last time, but
let me guess, $1,000 a month, huh? Yeah.
like
That was his solution to how to
But more minority presidential candidates. That was awesome. That was awesome spin. It's like he basically was like, and you know how we'd get more diverse candidates if people had more money to spend on politicians. You know how they'd have more money to spend on politicians if they got $1,000 a month. Yeah.
Who the fuck is
Thank you very much.
spending any portion of that $1,000 a month to political
If you
candidate?
need the $1,000 a month to like survive as UBI is portrayed, why should we give you so you can skip the politicians?
that did not convince
Only minority politicians.
That did not convince anyone in the audience, but I think that might have convinced some of the politicians up there. Like, oh yeah, they could give that money to
yeah,
us.
that's who he was really selling it to.
I bet you there were some politicians
They're like,
up on stage
"Wait a
that
minute."
just came around to his idea.
I could be mayor. Let's see. What else?
Best line of the night?
I thought the best line was when Buttigieg fucking hammered Warren.
Oh, shake the money tree in the wine cave is the best line.
Yep, that's
the
it.
best- that's
We
easily
need
the best
T-shirts.
line.
We need T-shirts.
I'll give him credit. That was a very memeable and pretty funny comment. For context, for those that don't watch these debates, it was an argument over Elizabeth Warren brought up some fundraiser where people were paying like $5,000 to get a selfie with Buttigieg or something, and then he came back with like, "Well, I'm not a millionaire like you guys, so I need to raise money from people, whatever." And then they got into this whole back and forth about who's more elitist and who's taking more money from more donors, and then somehow it came into some fundraiser. Was it one she had? There was a
No, he did.
No, he had
that's still his, right?
In the wine cave.
It was in a wine cave with like $900 bottle of wine.
But that was
And
his fundraiser?
I actually,
Yeah.
I
So
saw
why did he
some-
make the comment about the wine cave then? Because that's like talking about himself.
No, Yang said that later.
Oh, Yang said that line.
Yeah,
Okay,
he's
that's
like,
all right,
because
yeah.
them arguing stuff. He's like, listen, we don't need to be shaking the money tree in the wine cave.
Right, no, that's what it was. Yeah, Yang, it was Yang's comment. I gave him the Buttigieg bags.
But I saw some pictures of this wine cave fundraiser. It looks like a pretty good time.
Sounds
Wow.
awesome.
I'm sure
Okay.
it was.
I wouldn't
That
pay
was
the
a
money
great
to go,
time.
but it sounds fun.
I can
Maybe
see.
we should we throw a wine cave fundraiser at the LNC?
Yeah, we need a money
First,
tree.
we got to
to
find a
shake.
wine cave and a money tree, and they bring the money, and we shake it. I don't know.
I want to see this too.
Me too.
I can see Andrew Yang having like a Netflix stand-up special if once he finally drops out.
Where he waits for, where he tells jokes and then waits for an applause that never comes.
I could
Well,
see
moving on.
I could see him getting picked as a VP.
What?
No, I
For what target?
Really?
His best line actually is like, "You're probably wondering why I'm still on the stage."
That was good. You're probably
Dude,
looking
for a-
around
for a
wondering why is
while-
this guy here.
For a while, I thought Steyer actually left. I'm like, they haven't talked to him in like an hour. Is he
How the
still there?
How
It's
the
pretty
fuck
impressive
is
that a
he?
billionaire gets ignored.
Yeah, how did Steyer make the stage? That's what I'm
Because
curious
he's a billionaire and he's bought like millions of dollars of ads in certain states where they poll. So he's like basically buying his way into the debate.
Those like ads work
Massive,
on
just because people have heard of him in those areas, and then they poll in those areas, and then he's just basically rigged it with as much money as he can to just get into the debates.
about. Wow.
I
Okay.
think him and Klobuchar are gonna be out soon.
Oh, I thought you said they're going to start dating soon. I don't know why I thought that, but I did. I was like, wow, let's hear this theory, Howie. Can you restate it as if
you
that
had
was your theory?
to if you had to go on a date with one of them, who would it be?
Andrew Yang, easily.
No. Your choices are Steyer or Klobuchar.
Oh, man, that is tough.
Just a date, whatever happens is up to you.
I guess Klobuchar, only because they're both equally annoying, and she, I guess, is a woman. But that's the only reason I would choose her.
Oh, I would definitely pick Steyer.
Yeah,
You
dude.
don't have to do anything with him. You like convince him to get
Climate
drunk and
change.
go to the strip club.
He's a
Oh
billionaire.
yeah.
Yeah, what am I thinking?
I'm
You're
thinking Steyer. too.
Rico's right. I'm going out with Tom Steyer. JB, can you comment on this?
Yeah, I
pressing matter?
suppose. We can all go together. Take a neighbor.
Yeah. Hey, Tom, I know this is supposed to be me, but I brought along 3 of my friends. I thought we'd have a great old time together.
Tom Steyer, you know how Elizabeth Warren had that fundraiser that was like, have a beer with me or whatever? Tom Steyer should have a night at the strip club with me and 3 of your closest friends. And then I would donate. I would give him $5 just at the
Isn't that what you would do if you're a billionaire? Like,
Yeah, I just
what are
wouldn't run
you
for office. I would just do that.
wasting your time in this presidential election? You're not going to
The
win.
fact
And no
that
one
he's
likes
at the debate and not at the strip club really makes me question his character.
Politico's question. Tom, you're worth billions. What?
If I was a billionaire, I would not be running for president. I would be having way more
No.
fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Is Trump a billionaire or he's just a many millionaire?
I think he's like a on paper
I
billionaire.
think he's like a hundreds of millionaire. I don't think he's a billionaire.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, it's not like probably in one of the top 100, right? Like Bloomberg or Steyer are all worth way more than him.
I think so.
And
You guys know-
Bloomberg's a billionaire, and the former mayor of New York, he can't even get on this.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Well, I think because he came in so late, he probably hasn't made the polls yet.
Yeah, I don't think he's made
If
much
he's
traction,
serious,
really.
he may get into debates coming. Isn't the Iowa caucus like soon?
50 days now? Is that the first
Find
one?
out. Let's find out.
So- It's not
The fir-
I've
New
Googling.
Hampshire's the first one.
Did you
right?
guys hear
No,
the
Iowa's
theory?
always first. Isn't it?
Iowa's first. Yeah, I always forgot.
Did you guys hear
Iowa
the,
is February 3rd. That is less than, man, that's like 6 weeks away.
what happens with all these candidates if they stay in and they all win different states?
Brokered convention, Hillary Clinton.
Yeah,
Right?
I kind of feel like that's the plan.
Oh my God.
Is that the plan? It feels to me.
I think it is.
People keep having this Hillary announcing theory. If she was going to do it, it has to be like now.
Well, not if it's at the brokered convention.
Yeah, that's what I think, honestly, she's waiting for.
Why would they do that? That has to be the
Because-
dumbest idea I've ever
because
heard in
if
my
That
all
life.
can't be
these-
a good way to go into things with Trump. That can't possibly be. a good
If
way
this
to go
is a simulation designed for me, that would be.
That's why they would do it.
We're all living in Howie's simulation. Actually, that
By
sounds
far
like
the dumbest idea I think I've heard all year.
Would it happen to blow
why-
my mind? Like, oh my God, we get to watch her lose all over again.
So she doesn't have to. She doesn't have to do any of these debates. She can just keep going on friendly media, you know, Good Morning America or whatever, and have her ideas completely unchallenged. And she can see that all the other Democratic candidates are weak. They're not gonna. No one's gonna be, you know, pulling away from anyone. And then she can come in and say, you know what, I really won last time. So and all the Democratic people would say, you know what, I'm not really sold on Biden or Buttigieg, Warren or Sanders. Or, you know what? Let's go with Hillary again.
And she can get the super delegates to split their votes among them to force a broker convention because they control the DNC.
There. Yeah. Can we wager on this? The more I talk about it, I think
I
it's more.
like betting.
Is this now degenerate gamblers?
Yeah, I'll take a wager.
Then Howie has
There's no
to
way
leave
they
if
would
that's
do
the
that.
case.
Howie,
It's
you're
not-
off.
I've actually been doing a lot of gambling in World of Warcraft. Like instead of playing the game, I log in and like gamble with other like characters.
Maybe Howie, me and you
Like,
should start a
for
separate
real money?
gambling podcast.
No,
called-
for gold, dude. You stand around, so what you
Game
do.
gold.
Oh, game.
Yeah, like you know, if
What
you
the fuck are you talking about?
you know, like if you type /roll in the number, say like /roll 500, your roll it'll be a random number between 1 and 500.
Yeah.
So, like, say we're going to bet 20 gold. So we'll do /roll 200 and you see what you get. Whatever it is, say it's 53. The next person has to do /roll 53. And the first person that ends up with the 1 loses and they have to pay you the money. And
This is why you're never on Degenerate Gamblers, Howie. Jesus.
it's fun.
So here, degenerate gamblers, join our Patreon, Lions of Liberty Pride, patreon.com/Lions of
I
Liberty.
have my own degenerate gamblers.
Before the show,
in
we were
World of
talking about
Warcraft.
the recent surge. Before the
I'll
show, we were
stream
talking
it.
about the recent surge in donations, thanks to Brian McWilliams shaming our audience. So from now on, we're going to shame our audience constantly. All of you who aren't donating are cheap motherfuckers. So come donate. You can hear this live.
I think
Otherwise
his was a little
otherwise
bit
you're
more
hearing it on
heartfelt
Saturday.
than that, but
Yeah, I know. I'm totally phoning this in because I don't actually want to shame people that just want to listen to the podcast.
And stay tuned for Degenerate Warcraft.
But you do get to hear us live. You do get to help send us to create a mini documentary at the LNC in 2020. We are less than $300 away from our goal to make that happen. That's all I'm going to say.
All right.
Oh, yeah. And join before the Christmas Eve to be entered into a raffle for a bunch of free stuff. And if you join at $10 or higher during that period, you get a free Merry Taxation is Death mug for the holidays. And you get a free, also get a free Merry Taxation is Death beanie. No, it doesn't say that. It's just a holiday beanie for at 15 or higher plus the mug. So that's all.
nice.
I like that everyone nodded.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is,
Outstanding.
And that's the end of my plugs for tonight. I will not give you a heartfelt shaming like Brian.
Is this a bonus show?
It is bonus live for the Pride. It will eventually go on the regular feed probably on
Okay.
Saturday this week since it's Thursday night. I don't want to steal the thunder from Felony Friday, you know?
All right.
That Odie's been slaving away talking about felonies all night long. I want to steal his mojo. All right, what else is there to talk about in this debate? I don't know what else. There's only 7. I'm not used to only 7 people. Usually there's like 14. They really trimmed it down this time.
I liked it.
I guess you could get into the if you had to vote for one of these people.
We can. I'm curious to what you think about someone who was not in the debate, which is Tulsi Gabbard. Do you think I have a couple questions about her that I'll toss out. One, what do you think about her vote on impeachment as present, not voting for impeachment or against it? And also, do you think she'll ever make it back into a debate?
I think she will not make it back into a debate. And I think voting present was a kind of a savvy way to insert herself more into the national conversation. At least that's her attempt, because now she's kind of standing alone from even the other 3 that voted against impeachment, because one guy already switched to or is going to switch to the Republicans. One person voted no on one of the issues, but her whole point on voting present was to kind of put a spotlight on the fact that she probably correctly, it's completely partisan. So it was a good way to, at least an attempt to see her be more prominent in discussing the partisan nature of the proceedings.
So this wasn't her reason, but what do you guys think about if you're running against Donald Trump, maybe you should recuse yourself from this whole thing?
Oh, that would be a good take on it if she did.
Maybe Sanders and Booker and all those other senators should stay out of it because there's a political conflict of interest.
That would be a pretty savvy. I think that would be kind of a savvy take on it, and without having to like anger a potential base at the same time, just kind of taking the high road on the whole thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a conflict of interest. If Trump asking for the investigation is a conflict politically, then certainly that would have to be too. Not in the same, the same legal sense.
So appearance-wise,
the power, but yeah,
we're trying to kick our opponent out of the office.
But I mean,
that could harm his campaign.
What we're saying sounds nice, but yeah, I don't think it was a conflict of interest for Trump. I think if a U.S. official is involved in corruption, it should be investigated. And I don't think that these senators should have to recuse themselves from this because they're senators. That's their job to vote on the removal of a president when they're impeached. But,
well, when is that vote going to take place?
I meant recuse themselves from the comment on it.
Oh, maybe no, I meant from not voting in the trial. So some other votes to get to 66.
But I'm saying, when is that vote even going to take place? Pelosi wants a fair Senate trial. Of course, the House, I don't think, let Republicans call any witnesses, right?
Nope.
So was that a fair investigation? I don't know.
The whole thing is so blatantly partisan on every side that it's just I can't take anybody seriously on it. Except for like Justin Amash, who, while I don't agree with this take, I don't think he's playing bullshit. I don't think.
No, I don't either.
He's buying into a narrative I don't fully buy into, but I don't think he's doing it for any sort of.
So answering the questions quick, I liked her vote. My mom hates her now because of her vote, and I don't think she'll. I don't think
when your mom hates her, that's how I know she's all right.
Yeah, I don't think she'll ever be in a Democratic debate again either.
I want your mom to meet all my future girlfriends just to give them a test. If she hates them, I'm gonna be like, all right, this one.
One thing I don't understand though, like she has to know she was never going to become president, right? So why is she not running for re-election in the Congress so she can focus on this?
Maybe she'll run for a Senate seat or something.
And why has she refused to like run third party? So she's like not going to go third party, not going to try to get her seat back. She's obviously going to lose. What's the play?
She's going to become a porn star after all this.
So she's not running again?
Maybe. I don't know.
That's what she says. I don't think she's the type that's going to say something and then not do
JB had to take his headphones off. He was so flummoxed by my comment.
Do you think she's going to be like Trump's like Secretary of State or something?
That'd be amazing, though. That'd be a shade and fruit blow your mind move.
Yeah, I find that hard to believe, but anything's possible, I guess.
I'm just trying to figure out what the play is. But anyways, JB, what do you think about this?
Is there? I would wonder if
not
there's
my
an open
question about the vote.
I would wonder if there's an open Senate seat in Hawaii in 2020 because maybe she.
Well, Hawaii does have one of the most obnoxious senators. That Hiroshima or whatever her name is.
Isn't that Duckworth? Isn't that the one?
Oh, those are two very different names.
Who's the one?
The same person, I don't know what to think.
Tammy Duckworth. Is she the one that lost the leg in the war or something?
What? It's in the war?
Craig is saying
World War II?
Hey, Craig is from Hawaii, and he's saying it's Hirano.
Yeah, Hirano is the one who's we believe all accused.
We are listening, Craig.
Yes.
Tammy Duckworth is of Illinois.
She lose her leg in the war?
Craig is in the chat, which you could be in if you joined the Lions Liberty Pride, patreon.com/Lions Liberty. Back to the show.
Duckworth.
I like Duckworth better, though.
Yeah.
Was that a villain in the DuckTales? Or in, like, Darkwing Duck?
That was a villain in Mighty Ducks.
It's from the Senate, Tammy Duckworth. JB just told us she's from Illinois.
Quack, quack.
She did lose her legs in the Iraq War.
So Hawaii's senators are Hirano and Duckworth?
No, Illinois.
Oh,
Hirano's from Hawaii. No one knows who the other senator from Hawaii is.
Well, maybe it'll be Tulsi Gabbard in 2020. That's my going theory for why she might declare she's not running for Congress.
So, JB, what do you think of the president vote?
Brian Shaft.
It was pretty expected, I think. The show where we talked about her hasn't been released yet, huh? When we talked about the censure.
Oh yeah, we're all in a time warp right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We
so I
recorded
should
Monday's
bring that
show
up.
already, so
Yeah. Well.
let's keep it spoiler free.
Yeah.
You
It
can hear our thoughts in the future on that.
was kind of expected.
Tune into Naughty or Nice on Monday, and you'll hear that.
I don't really know what to make of it. It still seems a little. It doesn't seem what's the word I'm looking for? Meaningful or maybe sincere vote. I feel like it's politically motivated in some way, and it's not a principle. I don't feel like it's a principle stance.
I have an argument against that.
What's that?
So the impeachment's going to do nothing because the Senate's not going to remove him. But if the Republicans thought he did something wrong, but not should be kicked out of office, if the House and the Senate both passed the censure bill, it would be like, yes, everyone's saying he did something wrong. And it would be like a real condemnation, even though it didn't remove him from office. So going with her plan would actually do, not that it doesn't remove him from office, but it does more than being like, oh yeah, the Democrats just out to get him.
I doubt Republicans would vote for the censure any more than they'd vote for.
I kind of doubt it too, but there's a slight chance that the Romneys and some of the others
like Romney.
And it's not
Romney might vote for impeachment.
It would just be a simple majority. It wouldn't have to be the 66 like an impeachment.
Do you think any Republicans will vote for impeachment? I think Romney might.
I don't. Not with
the
what
Senate.
They got.
Yeah.
Not now.
He wouldn't by himself. He's a coward.
Yeah, he's not going to be a maverick here.
If a handful of others were, he would, but he's not going to do it himself.
I think what he wants to see is for something else to come out, and I think that's what the Democrats want. I
think he wishes he could, but he won't.
Yeah.
Rico, I've got
something else come out like what?
Is anyone less genuine than Mitt Romney?
Well, Rico, I have a legal question for you.
Oh, well, she's probably asking the wrong person, but go ahead.
The second article of impeachment, the obstruction of Congress.
That's always what you want to hear from your lawyer.
The obstruction of
you're talking to the wrong guy, but I'll entertain it.
The obstruction of Congress because he wouldn't submit to the subpoenas. Trump's argument is that, well, we're going to wait to see for the court to say if I have to.
It's a legitimate challenge.
They didn't wait for the court, but now they're saying they might not. One of the reasons they might not send the articles of impeachment over to the Senate is because, well, maybe the Supreme Court will say, yes, he does have to. But it's like, well, he didn't have to till they say he has to, right?
Right.
So he's still fine. You could just be like, okay, well, here you go.
Yeah, you can't. If you have a legitimate this happens in life. If you people get a subpoena and they're like, I don't think I have to comply with that for these various reasons. And I think the Supreme Court actually said they would hear it, right? So if they're actually hearing it, it means he has a colorable claim to what he's asserting.
Because even if they say, yes, he has to, it doesn't mean he did anything wrong because they didn't tell him he had to yet.
He had a good faith argument. It's so good faith, in fact, that the Supreme Court's actually willing to listen to it. They don't listen to everything or even most or much. So because they're actually listening to his good faith claim, whatever you think about executive privilege, it's ridiculous that you would say, well, we don't like the fact that you didn't just do exactly what we said in the time frame we said you had to do it in, and we don't give a shit about separation of powers. So obstruction of Congress, whatever the fuck that is. It's ridiculous.
That's a new one to me.
Yeah, what is obstruction of Congress? Is that a made up?
You're not doing what Peter Schiff or Adam Schiff.
I don't think
Adam Schiff, whatever.
If only it was Peter Schiff.
I don't think obstruction of Congress has ever been uttered until 2019.
No, it's ridiculous. Yeah, I mean, he's asserting a defense to a subpoena, which happens millions of times a day, I'm sure. And
all right. Thank you. That's why you're my lawyer. Good answer.
Well, this is why you are where you are in life, I guess.
Not in jail?
Yet.
I feel like when we spent 15 minutes on the impeachment, we're pretty much done talking about the debate. Should we do a little prediction wrap up here? Is there only one more debate before Iowa?
I don't know.
I was hoping there would be
I'm
none.
just asking that hypothetically.
There's no more this year.
I know, but let me see. There's got to be one.
I could have sworn this was the last debate before the vote.
Really?
Before a vote, at least.
I don't think we vote till May.
No, this can't be real. I'm looking at an article that's titled "Expect 4 more Democratic debates in January and February," which still seems like a lot. But let me see. I'm just going to do some scrolling here, and I'll find the answer. But apparently there are 2 in January and 2 in February.
I hope Tulsi Gabbard stays in till we vote in Virginia. I got screwed over last time. I couldn't vote for Rand. He dropped out, so I had to go and vote in the Democratic one for Bernie.
Did you have to vote?
No, anything I could do to try to stop Hillary, I was going to do.
This can't be right. Oh yeah, there's a debate there's one more debate before Iowa, January 14th, and then Iowa caucus, and that one's in Des Moines, of course, and then February 3rd is the Iowa caucus, and then February 7th there's a debate in New Hampshire, and then the New Hampshire primary. So there's one debate before each of the 2 big votes, and there's another debate. Oh my God, in February 19th. In Las Vegas before the Nevada caucus, and then another debate on February 25th before the South Carolina primary on the February 29th. So there's 3 debates in February.
What do you guys think the viewership was like at this one? The first debate was like 29
of what,
million.
this podcast? Or
no, the debate. The first debate was like 29 million. It keeps
honestly,
going down. The last one was like 3 million.
These shows we do get the highest downloads of anything we do.
Oh yeah, but that's us. The actual debates.
Yeah, I know. I don't care about the
people would rather hear it from us than suffer through it.
Are we more popular than the Democratic debates by some ratio that we can come up with? I think so.
Yeah.
By some ratio, yes.
By some metrics.
Right. Yeah, obviously
that's a doctor of science.
Yeah, obviously got to factor in, we're a podcast of this level, and
yeah, like if you went like by people that are interested in libertarian politics compared to who watches this, in ratio to the people who are interested in democratic politics that watch the debate, the CNN post-debate show or something, I think we'd win.
Something like that.
Something like that. We'll report back with the numbers never. So
when's our next?
A couple back of the envelope calculations here.
If this whole
JB's crunching numbers right now. Hold on.
If this whole election,
Dr. Math.
If we're getting math, he's gonna work for Andrew Yang and be Dr. Math.
If we're getting close to actual voting and stuff, when are we going to wrap up? When do we wrap up our Liberty draft?
Well, that'll.
Oh God.
I've had
my picks in my head for months now.
I would say, in all honesty, we probably only have to do 1 or 2 more draft shows, and I think they should wrap up probably a month or 2 before the LNC. So pretty soon.
Okay, cool.
Stay tuned. Check your email. Keep refreshing that Gmail inbox for invites.
Got to make up new bad picks to make for entertainment purposes.
Those are the best ones.
I think actually Rico does the most research, but it's all into what the worst things he could do and the most ridiculous things he can come up with, which I do respect in a way.
So are we going with who's going to be out before the next debate? Do you think they'll have 7?
Do you think Andrew Yang will hang in there? Because I'm not rooting for him in any kind of political sense, but I'm rooting for him in you clearly are a bit of an outsider here sense.
I think judging by the way his jokes went over today with the audience, I think he's not.
If it was America's Next Hot Stand-Up, he would definitely be out of it.
It didn't go over well. I think it was a hostile crowd for Andrew. I felt a little bad for him. I thought his material deserved a little better response.
His material was at least slight giggle worthy. I would say. And I think that's more than he could say for every other candidate.
Right. I don't think he'll be long, but I wonder if they're going to make any changes before the Iowa caucus. But it is in January, right? You said.
I mean, they keep upping the requirements. That's why there's less candidates, making it each time. So we'll see.
Yeah, I think him and Steyer would be the next 2 that would be gone. For some reason, Klobuchar keeps getting support.
Yeah, I don't know how she is sticking around. She must have a really organized campaign or something. Because I've never seen an ad for anybody, so that doesn't matter. But I've never heard. I don't hear about her ever until I turn on the debate, and then there she is again.
They were trying to make her a thing tonight. They were really trying to make her a thing.
Maybe she's their sort of establishment backup.
But most definitely, I was looking at the Times breakdown for speaking time, and she was second after Bernie tonight.
Bill Maher,
and only by 37 seconds.
Wow.
Second. Yeah. Second most speaking time.
Who had the least, Yang?
Yeah, of course. 11, just a little less than 11 minutes.
11 minutes compared to what for Bernie?
Bernie was 20 minutes, 30 seconds, and Yang was 10 minutes, 56 seconds.
That's a humongous gap in a time when you only get a minute or 2 to answer things. That's huge.
Hey, you guys need to check out this link I just put in the chat.
You said that so creepily that I have to click it.
And I don't see it.
Probably because you probably can't find the chat. This clears it all up. Do I have to
I don't
watch
see it either.
Oh wait, it's sent to.
I always sent it to his like yoga group or
I'm
something.
not going to listen to a 55
It went
second
to who's
soundbite.
Yeet Booty Stuff.
That's me.
Oh, it just went to Mark. How do I send it? Let me send it to all panelists.
Yeet
Hold on.
booty stuff is my new moniker. You like it?
I like it.
I just came up with it a few minutes ago.
It changed it from his name to all panelists.
I wish we could play this video for people.
I think we actually do have the technology. Do you want me to try?
Sure.
Let me see. Let's see. I think if I share, let's see. I think I can do this.
That'd be awesome.
Well, I have to share the screen. I don't know if I want you seeing everything that's on my screen. And I can't figure this out right now. Optimize for, I'm not doing this. Anyway, it's another thought. Anyway,
I wanted to get.
I know how to share a clip if it's on my computer. I'm not sure how to show you a link right now. That's more advanced than I can handle for this live stream.
Damn it.
So, all right, seriously, who do we think?
I was hoping for a live reaction, but all right.
Do you think anybody's going to be gone next time that's in now? And fuck it, it's early. Why don't we just? It's not early. There's only one more debate. Let's just say who we think's going to win Iowa, because there's only one more debate until then.
Oh, Iowa?
Yeah, there's only one more.
Oh, okay. Buttigieg.
I think Biden's going to win.
I don't think Buttigieg will be the nominee, but I think
Bernie's going to win.
I think he'll
Didn't
win
he
Iowa.
win it last term?
I think Elizabeth Warren's going to win. So we just took 4 different positions.
How about that?
Well,
I think
We're
that's
talking
fair.
about. We're
Is this
talking
never
Iowa,
happened?
not
It's
the
never
nomination, just Iowa.
No, not the nomination.
No, yeah, just Iowa.
Yeah, Buttigieg.
I
Nomination.
think Bernie's
still,
a caucusing
I think-
fiend.
I might go Buttigieg to the nomination at this point, to be honest.
Should
I don't
we
think
all
he'll
throw
win
in?
Iowa. No gay man's winning Iowa, though. I just don't.
Should we all
see-
throw in $25? The winner gets it all.
Legally, I can't bet publicly on this, so no.
Oh,
Offline, we can talk.
I want to think more about this.
lion bucks.
Oh yeah, of course. Those,
Lion
25
bucks?
lion bucks.
those are worthless.
Yeah,
I wanna- Yeah. How many strip lap dances does that get
How
you
many
at WrestleMania?
lap dances does that buy you from Tom Sire?
I hear some Pride members will take
Should we
lion
invite
bucks.
Tom Sire? Can we disinvite one of your friends, Rico, and invite Tom Sire to WrestleMania?
What if
Pick
we had-
anyone except
Yeah.
What if we had something called lion bucks, but you could only be accepted by Pride members? They're used for exchange amongst the Pride and no one else.
I like it, but why would anyone do that?
Because if you're in the Pride, you got to take lion bucks. I don't know. Why not?
You're a great salesman.
But you know that you could get stuff from other Pride members at lion bucks, so why not?
If you only want to exchange with like a group of about 135 people, then yeah.
They've got some good shit.
They probably do. This might be a good idea. Do you get a discount if you use Lion Bucks?
I don't know. It's up to them. This is for free.
Okay.
I'll give you a
Well,
discount if you pay in lion bucks.
If anyone listening knows how to create a cryptocurrency, should it be a cryptocurrency?
Oh, should it be?
I don't know. Why not?
Yeah, probably.
I don't want to mail Lion Bucks out.
It probably wouldn't be like that good if I just printed it out on my printer. Like people might be able to copy them. Or something.
Actually, that's exactly what I want it to be. Please make it be that. I want you to print millions of Lion dollars in the next few weeks.
How do we make them like unforgeable though?
Oh no, they'll be forgeable. They'll be so
Okay.
forgeable.
So I'm at
You're going to print them in color, and no one has a color copier, so this is gonna be fine.
What color runs out all the time? We'll use that color.
Purple. I think purple goes fast.
Okay.
I'm
Rico,
trying.
You had a comment that was profound.
I'm trying to find the date of this article, but I googled Democratic nomination odds, and Clinton is 6th right now.
Bill.
No.
It just says Clinton, but it could be either one.
Not in the Me Too
6%?
age.
7.8. Sure, 7.8%. That's terrible how they try to convert this to odds.
Hey, Craig watched my video and he typed ha 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 ha.
I honestly did not know this before I said it, but Warren is leading most of the polls for Iowa. But some of them are for Biden. They're kind of back and forth, and then Buttigieg actually has a few of them, and Sanders has a few. It is like a four-way race from what I'm seeing here on 5:30.
So who is it not going to be? Steyer and Klobuchar?
Klobuchar is like 5th, and then Harris. Harris is still on here even though she dropped out. So maybe this is a piece of shit.
So what I asked on
Harris is
Twitter,
listed above as a higher chance than Booker or Steyer or Yang, people that are in it.
someone on Twitter said, I don't like Klobuchar because she's the white Kamala. And someone's like, yeah, but if Kamala's the black Hillary, then is Klobuchar the white Hillary?
And then Hillary's the fake Hillary. So I'm buying into Howie's fake Hillary theory that you'll hear more about on our multiple shows next week that we already recorded behind the scenes.
Yeah. Here's a spoiler. Hillary dead, Epstein alive.
That is the spoiler. That's a high-level teaser. All right, one more comment, then we're out. The only thing I think we didn't answer, if you had to choose, I don't care about that if you're a Democrat one. If you had to choose as a libertarian, one of these people to be president, you have to. We're going to murder you if you don't, and your family. Who is it going to be? JB left. That's how much he doesn't want to answer it. Oh, there he is.
What's that?
Are you trying to smoke off camera as if we don't see this?
Yeah.
The big plume that comes up immediately afterwards. JB's head disappears and a big plume of smoke comes up. And we're all like, oh, gee. I wonder what he's doing. Not
what
smoking, that's for sure.
You got me. So is it me? Am I?
No, it can be.
Well, I guess Yang,
talking,
if only because I just like saying Yang Gang. There's something about that that's appealing to me. It's catchy. But, at least, he has a couple of good points. He definitely is, of all the candidates on stage, he annoys me the least. And I don't even think that's close. So if I have to vote for one, it's probably going to be Andrew Yang.
I'm on the fence between Yang and Bernie, only because Bernie is kind of anti-war. But the problem with Bernie is he's so damn spineless that I don't trust him to be strong enough on anything. So I guess I would probably default to Yang just because he doesn't seem as terrible as a person as the rest of them, even though his policies are probably just as bad.
Like Marc, I was on the fence between Bernie for his anti-war stuff and Yang. But Yang, being not an evil politician, I'm going to go with Yang.
And Bernie is just so fucking spineless. Like, he's just, even when he takes a strong...
He endorsed Hillary Clinton. Case closed.
Case closed, yeah. If he didn't do that, it would definitely affect my view of him now.
Yep. Clean sweep. Yang Gang. There's, all right. I don't think there's anyone.
You heard it here first. The Lions of Liberty endorsed the Yang Gang.
Yeah. Who else are you
only in a hypothetical reality where ourselves and our families will be murdered. Keep it in mind, and tortured. I think if we don't.
And not even Tulsi Gabbard's included in this. So
no, we're just talking about the people that are on the
stage.
And that $1,000 a month will go towards Lions Bucks.
Obviously, I would choose Tulsi if it wasn't talking about everybody.
Only a quarter of my 1,000 is going to go to Lion Bucks.
Well, I guess I'm a better libertarian than you.
I'm putting all my Lion Bucks right back into the company.
Well, hey, dude, I got the Lion Bucks printer. It'd be kind of foolish.
I'm going to try to take my Steyer Bucks and turn them into Lion Bucks.
I'm like the Federal Reserve of Lion Bucks.
We'll have a currency exchange.
Howie, we need more Lion Bucks. Send them to us first. We get them before they devalue.
Can I set the overnight exchange rate?
Yeah,
damn sure. You damn right you can.
Where's the overnight exchange rate? How he got drunk again and passed out.
After every Lions Liberty podcast,
he's drunk. Rates are negative. He's paying you to take Lion Bucks.
Howie will send you a bottle of whiskey for every 10 Lion Bucks you take. All right, it's been fun. I'm out.
Right.
That's
Sweet.
it. We end this quickly. Goodbye.
Later.